Welcome to a new OpenCart 4 tutorial. On this occasion, we are going to talk about the OpenCart Customers section, which is much more than a simple list of registered users. It is a comprehensive system that covers everything from the initial registration to compliance with privacy regulations. In this tutorial, we will break down each section of the panel and see a practical example to configure the workflow. To begin, we head over to the Administration panel, to the Customers section, where we can see that it is divided into 5 sections. The first section is the Customers section. In it, you can see a filter that will help you filter the customer if you need to resolve an issue or change a record manually. In the Edit User section, you will be able to see not only that user's personal information, such as their name, email, and phone number, but you also have some other sections where you can see their associated addresses, payment methods, the internal history that you can use to have a more exhaustive record of this customer's history, and the transaction section, which can be affiliate commission transactions. You can assign or remove reward points that can be used later to purchase or redeem products in your store. And you can also see, for example, the IP address from which this user registered or logged in. Now onto the Customer Groups section. Customer groups allow you to organize your users for targeted marketing or specific pricing. Their main function is to allow you to segment your users to, well, apply automatic discounts depending on the group or use case you need at that moment. The Customer Approvals section is basically for managing the workflow when you need to verify additional information from a user upon registration. Let's take the example of when you have a wholesale customer group and you need verifications, for example, of their ID. We also have custom fields, where if you need extra data, for example, a tax ID or a date of birth, you can use custom fields to decide if this information appears, for instance, in the account or address section, what type of field you can use. You can use everything from select menus, check boxes, text fields, to files you need to attach, be it a photo of a passport or a document. This custom field can be assigned to any customer group you have registered in the store. You can set it to be required or optional for all users, as well as the sort order in which this field will appear. Finally, we have the Privacy section, which manages 2 fundamental rights for any store: users' access to their data and the right to delete it. Here, you will be able to process requests for both the export and deletion of personal information in an automated and fully legal manner. A vital detail for a customer group to appear or be available at the time of registration is to go to System, Settings, edit the store settings, select Options, Account, and here is the Customer Group section. Here you must manually select which groups will be available for the customer to choose when registering. Without this step, your groups will not appear on the storefront for registration. However, you can always assign them manually to any user already registered in your store. Now let's put everything into practice by creating a workflow for wholesalers. First of all, let's go to the Customers section, Customer Groups. In this case, we already have it created, but we need to make sure it requires approval when users register. So for example, if we need to request additional ID, we can review it first and then approve them if everything looks good. Now let's go to Custom Fields and create a new field. In this case, it's going to be an ID. We are going to place it in what would be the account creation. It will be a text type. It won't have a default value. Additionally, we could add a validation to the field if necessary. Now we assign this additional field to the wholesale customers and set it to be required as well. We enable it and place it in sort order position number 1. We save. Now to make this accessible when the user registers, we go to System, Settings, Store Settings, Options, Account, and we enable the customer group for registration. We save. Now, if we go to our storefront, go to Registration, and select the wholesale group, we can see that we have an additional field for this group. However, when we have the default group selected, this field will no longer be available. Additionally, OpenCart also offers security for registrations. Two-factor authentication can be enabled, as well as a maximum number of login attempts. And if we require the password to meet certain rules, for example, having a symbol, having a number, or we can also set a minimum password length. To conclude, remember, the best practice is to periodically review your database to clean up inactive accounts and ensure that your team is trained in managing privacy requests. With these tools, you have full control over the lifecycle of your customers in OpenCart 4.